welcome to Star Trek Mission Report. I'm Josh.
I'm Steve. It's episode 4. We go to Vashti. It's the kind of a settlement for Romulans, and we go back again in time. 13, 15 years later ish.
Yeah. Right before the attacks on Mars.
And it's almost Star Trek Insurrection like, and it's utopia type state. Kids running around, everybody seems fairly happy.
Bread being made.
Yeah, bread being made. You have
looks delicious.
Little tiny markets and whatnot. And you get to meet some of the characters there. We meet a young boy named Elnor, who is he grows up to be a lot cooler and a lot less punchable, because as a kid, he's kind of and Picard's not a big fan of kids, never has been, but he clearly has an affection for Elnor, right? Yeah, he gives him a book as a gift and the whole thing.
But there's been a few episodes in TNG where he's kind of grown more attached to kids,
a little bit more as it goes on. The
triple lift episode where he was trapped and he had to make them like he couldn't move or something, they had to assist him, and then when he became a kid, things like that. But
he had to gain better respect for it, and the whole thing. But
the 3 Musketeers he gives him.
And so Elnor is the sole male member of this, shocker, another secret type organization in the Romulan Empire called the Co-op Malat. Basically, they're female nun type assassination queens. And I don't know how many secret societies the Romulans need.
Apparently a lot.
But they've got a lot.
They do.
So good for them. Good for them. That's nice. And so, I only wrote down a few main points of this episode because I didn't feel like the episode was maybe necessarily filler per se, but it felt a little fillery in some spots. Mm-hmm. But, when later in the episode, when we fast forward to Vashti, current, it's a completely different place. It's less utopia and more dystopia. I mean, it's kind of a, they feel like a forgotten settlement. The Co-op Malat is still there, and Picard wants help. He wants protection, and Elnor has grown up, and he's basically the Romulan Legolas from Lord of the Rings. But quite honestly, pretty cool character. I don't dislike this character at all. No. Whereas with some of these side characters, I don't feel like an investment toward them very much yet. But that is what it is. So Picard, he's going to be leaving. He's resigned to the fact that he's not going to get help. Elnor's not going to help him. Basically says, you deserted me, so why should I help you? Mm-hmm. Hit the bricks. So Picard goes and hits said bricks, and goes into this area that says Romulans only. Mm-hmm. And then
Eddie Murph's it.
And he's about to pretty much get his ass handed to him, and bye Picard. And we all knew that would not happen because there's 6 episodes left.
That'd be a twist.
Wouldn't it? Right. Everything's flashback. And in one of the more gory save scenes, Elnor comes and saves Picard's ass by decapitating this guy, and it was pretty. I know Star Trek is more hope-based, etc., but I thought that was badass. I loved it.
Gave him a choice.
Right?
And
so
they practice, him and the nuns practice is absolute candor. Like, they are very open with their feelings. Like, they don't sugarcoat things.
Right.
Just, this is it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Vulcan-like, but with emotion. I don't know.
Well, and that's what the Romulans are.
They're like Vulcans they're Vulcan light.
Yeah, they split off from the Vulcan race, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and the only difference between Romulans and Vulcans is they embrace their emotions.
That's a show right there, I think, or a movie.
Yeah, it could be.
It's like that whole leaving, like kind of Planet of the Apes style.
Yeah, how did that happen, and what does that look like?
Right.
That could be some pretty good drama,
Yeah, it's probably a novel out there. There's so much fan.
I'm sure there is. That'd be actually kind of cool to look for.
That'd be cool. Give us that.
But Elnor, again, obviously, so he saves Picard, decides to help Picard and protect him, and so it met, his mission meets the criteria for Elnor helping him, which means that it's a lost cause. And so part of me is like, well, how do they live after? You know?
They were it's weird, like, they contradict themselves, the Romulans in that bar, you know? They're like, like, we were this and that, we could do this and that, but then you failed us, Picard. It's like, wait a minute, you just said you guys were capable of this other shit. Like, why was they relying on Starfleet so much, you know?
There's a lot of contradictions in this episode.
It's just weird, like, because Romulus had, I guess there had to be a big portion of them who were in denial of the supernova. I think they may have explored that in 09's Star Trek, but they had all these ships. It's like, why couldn't they help themselves? Or it's just a lot of mystery there.
Right.
I don't know if they even know.
Right.
That's the problem, which I hope they somehow try to explain a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know? Just kind of odd, but yeah, that whole thing again. It's just dirt.
Yeah.
Just nothing glamorous about it. The nun's place looks great. I mean,
you know, but
kept.
if they can only accept missions that are a lost cause, how are they still alive?
Right.
You know, so I mean, there's a lot of just weird stuff. You know,
it's very strange.
It's like they're introducing this mystical quality to Romulans, which is just to me a little hokey.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to get that Game of Thrones type of
and it's just, I don't know.
Borrowing. Did it bother you Picard's outfit when he beamed in the flashback? He had the Mr. O'Rourke outfit with the hat.
He looked
a little communicator on there.
He looked a little touristy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
like
weird.
A philanthropist, like, hey,
right, exactly. It was
kind of bothered me how he walked away from them. He's like, I'll be back, and they beam him out as he's walking. Like, I thought you had to be kind of still
stationary.
Yeah, he's just like, bye.
Well, and you know, and they've introduced other areas where
you know screwed up or something.
People beam, you know, like falling in the air, and you know, I mean, there's been a million. I think they've changed that, but it was still looked awkward.
I know it was. It kind of bothered me, but I mean, you know, I'm just nitpicking, I guess. But.
Yeah, and there's two other points to the episode that I was thinking about, and one is the Borg Hall sliding.
Oh God.
So dumb.
I'm like, oh, where are we gonna go? This is cool. He's gonna show her this tomb or some
sort of cool thing on the Borg cube, but instead it's risky business.
Yeah.
Xenu approves. Yeah.
He did like a Lost Boys call out when he's sliding down there. It was just orchestrated to get them close and have that. And when the music like swayed, like that kind of was cool, but how we got there, I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah,
it's weird.
And again, to me, it was just more filler type stuff. You know, I mean, I would have loved to have seen almost anything else.
Anything else.
Yeah, almost anything else. And you know, so for me, the end of the episode with the bird of prey fight. When they were trying to escape. I mean, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Because who comes to the rescue to help them out?
Yeah.
7 of 9.
That was cool. Cool.
She can absolutely do no wrong ever.
That was a nice moment. I actually saw behind the scenes because Jonathan Frakes directed that episode.
Yeah.
And when she beams in and stuff and she faints basically. She's like, you owe me a ship, Picard.
Yeah.
She faints and he chuckled after that scene was yeah, right.
For fun. She might be dead, but for fun.
That was really cool. That was a big thing from the trailers. I hope we get more of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like some kind of rogue captain, right, or some shit like that, of the old Romulan bird of prey, which I thought it was really more interesting ship than the Rio ship. Like, why can't you just scan in some old ships and then detail them more and make them look badass?
Exactly.
And I'm sure they got some fucking comms on there, not these hologram things.
Yeah, they can actually hit something.
It just wasn't. It's not exciting to see them doing, because I don't know what they're seeing, and it would be more interesting for close-ups on them, like
on a panel.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I want that. That's more interesting to me. It was cool to see some of the maneuvers the ships did, and that's the other thing that's kind of vague about this planet these Romulans are on. Well, the Romulans, but they're also the nuns, which are Romulan too, right?
Right. Like Coat Malat.
Whoever lives on that planet too, I guess, which they don't really get into. But they had this grid. So it's like someone set this grid up and they just never got the manual for it or something. Like
It's like a defense grid, and
so no one down there has any. It looks like they don't have any tech hardly. It's just drink and bitch. And
right.
Decapitated, pretty much.
Yeah. Where's the bread?
Right.
You know, I mean.
Right. Give us bread.
I want my future bread that they showed 15 years ago.
Right. It doesn't rot. It's pretty interesting.
So, you know, again, 3 out of 5, and the third star is just for 7 of 9.
I figured.
You know, so.
Yeah, they just feel, you know, like I was just talking about short treks, you know, like how they're kind of pointless. Some of these feel like they would probably be good short treks, maybe. Yeah. You know, they would build up story a little bit more, and then you wouldn't have to sacrifice so much time. These episodes go by so quick.
They do.
And I always felt like the old Trek, even though they were, with commercials, they were less than an hour, it still felt like a giant meal. Yeah. You know? And with these, it's like we're just getting to the meal, and you get the first bite, and then credits. And it's
like,
oh!
Yeah, and then there's a fire in the restaurant, and I have to leave. You know, I mean, I don't know.
I'm hungry. But that was cool. Yeah, we're getting 7 and 9 back finally. Yeah. Because it was like, when the hell is she going to show up? I do applaud them for that, though. They didn't throw everything at you the first episode. Right. That's nice. It's nice getting these treats. Like, we haven't seen Riker yet in Troy, which was in the trailer. Very excited. Yeah. Like, I'm oh God, I hope that's not a disappointment. Hope it's not just like a quick, give me a hug. And then they're like, I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Seven.
Riker, are you don't like Starfleet either? No, they wronged me. I saw some shit.
I've seen things.
Now I wear these outfits that are... she can't see worth shit, but she's a hell of a gardener.
I have a herd of feral cats that live in my hair.
Their house smells like cat piss. Yeah. It's terrible. You don't want to smell all over. Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, why would they be on Beta Z? I don't know. Hopefully we'll get these answers right. I don't know. Well, until next time, I'm Josh.
I'm Steve.
2 to beam up.